Hi, Pablo Lima. I'm here with Paul Kelly, founder of the Kelly Law Group. There's a lot of misinformation out there about the heart and lung bill. People have heard what it is, but they can't tell you what it is. Well, Paul's an expert on it, and he's going to tell you all about it. Paul?
Thanks, Pablo. As you said, a lot of people have heard the term the heart-lung bill, but when you ask most people what is it and how it works, the majority of them can't tell you. We've been at seminars with chiefs of police all the way down to line officers, and most people can't explain it. The problem with that is if you can't explain it, you can't use it to benefit you and your family. The heart-lung bill is simply a presumption of work-relatedness. If you meet specific criteria, then it is presumed by law that that condition or those conditions are work-related. At that point, then all kinds of benefits are open to you. So the biggest question is, what are the 4 criteria for the heart-lung bill? The first criteria is you have to be a member of the covered class. Well, there are only 4 covered class members: law enforcement officers, firefighters, corrections officers, and correction probation officers. The second criteria under the heart-lung bill is that you have to have a covered condition. There are only 3 conditions that are covered under the heart-lung bill. The first is hypertension, also known as high blood pressure. It's the essential primary hypertension that is covered. The second is heart disease. Now, heart disease can cover a variety of things. If you look at it from a mechanical type standpoint, or like if you were building, the heart has electrical components to it as well as plumbing components. Well, both sets are covered. With the electrical and plumbing, that would all follow under heart disease. And then the third portion of that is tuberculosis. So if you're a member of the covered class, you've got a covered condition, you meet 2 of the criteria. The third criteria then is when you started with that agency, you had to have undergone a pre-employment physical. That pre-employment physical has to fail to show evidence of the condition you're claiming, whether that be hypertension or heart disease. And then the last and probably one of the most important criteria is that you have to have sustained a disability as a result of that covered condition. The question is, what's disability? That's been all over the courts. The biggest thing is you have to be unable to perform your job even for a brief period of time in order to obtain treatment for that condition. And a physician has to have taken you out of work or restricted your ability to work in order to indicate you've had disability. The biggest thing is we've got people that meet those 4 criteria, but because their fear of retaliation at the job, or that they'll be blackballed or not be able to move up in the ranks, a lot of folks are afraid to file the heart-lung bill. Pablo, you're the former law enforcement officer with one of the biggest agencies in the state of Florida. I know you're not just president, but you're a member too. You've been on the heart-lung bill. Tell them, how has this affected or impacted your career with the agency?
Been on it for close to 20 years. And when I first heard about it, most like first responders, hey, listen, I don't need this. I'm not worried about it. But dealing with Paul and finding out all the pros for it, because there's no cons on it. There's no negativity about it. I went on it, and it didn't restrict me from getting promoted several times. It didn't restrict me from going to tactical units. It's just like when you get hurt at work, you're out for a period of time, you come back to work, and it's fine. The great thing about it is it covers all your medical. And guys, you really need to make sure you're healthy. We put it aside because we want to continue the job. And we forget about taking care of us because we're always out there taking care of others. You need to take care of yourself. And it's not just for you, it's for your family. So I haven't found any negative side of being on it. And it's actually taking care of and expose other things that I wasn't being taken care of medically. By going on to it, I was able to address all that. So I highly recommend it. Get tested, get on it, and let us work with you.